everybody, it's Bryce here. I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents on the accuracy test that we completed last weekend, or a couple weekends ago, depending on when you're watching this. I want to go over a couple things that I want to just kind of expand on some of the stuff Gordon was saying. He may be covering it in his second video, I don't know, but I wanted to talk about it. I also wanted to talk about scale. I'm going to log into the account right here. I'm going to take a look at some of these numbers and walk through them with you. The first thing I want to talk about is the vector again. I'm going to insert a little graph here. Gordon was talking about it. We took the x-axis and the y-axis and then we graphed it. The vector is the hypotenuse of those two, so it's the distance from 0 that those two numbers are. I like to think of it as the radius of a circle. I'm going to draw that on a graph. Anybody who's had in the basic geometry, radius is halfway across the circle. So it's the point from the center of the circle to one of the edges. If you take one vector value and draw that circle with the radius, that means that that circle is twice the radius across total. So let me jump in here and look at this document. I'm just going to talk about, let's say, worst and best on a couple of the numbers, and I think it'll be really be helpful in a few ways. So one vector, since we derived it from the standard deviation, means that 68% of the shots, theoretically, that barrel ever shoots will be within one vector of one vector. So a circle that is twice as far across as that vector number. Okay, 68% of that. So I'm going to take the best vector on here, 2.96. Is that it? No. Let's look at the one pieces. 2.82. No, 2.79. That's that 686 die. 2.79 is the best vector on here. That means that, okay, 2.79, right? 3 inches about. If you take that and double it, 68% of the shots ever fired through that barrel at 50 feet will land in a 6-inch circle. Okay. If you double that size, now you're up to the 95% approximately. So now you're up to 12 inches, right? Approximately. Yeah, there's 12 inches. 12 inches approximately. 95% of the balls shot out of that barrel ever will theoretically land inside that 12-inch circle. Alright, that's the best. So 12 inches, keep that in mind. Alright, and now let me go find the worst. 3.99, 4.29, that's not great. 4.72, okay. A little bit of an unfair comparison, but this one, I mean, it illustrates the point. The 683 back with no front on it, so that was just the 6-inch control bore, shot a 4.72. Okay, double that. That's let's just call it 9. All right, double that again. 18-inch circle. All right, so yeah, I'll get it back up. 18-inch circle. 50 feet, 95% of the paintballs theoretically will land in an 18-inch circle on that barrel. So we went from the best 12-inch to the worst 18-inch. It's 3 inches on each side. There isn't that much difference in any of these barrels, and that's not even a whole barrel. That's just the barrel back. The next worst is much closer to 3. No, sorry, much closer to 4. See, the next worst is going to be at a 16-inch circle. That's only 2 inches difference on each side of the circle. 4 inches total diameter difference of 95% of the shots. We're talking a projectile 6.68 inches across, and these barrels all shot well. The scale of the differences just isn't all that impressive. The other interesting thing is that what I did is, if you look at if you go to the go to TechPV and link through to the thing, there's tabs along the bottom of the spreadsheet. Go to the one on the right. It's called the Y to SD graphs. This one was really interesting to me. I thought that consistency was going to equal vertical accuracy. It makes sense, right? The balls are all going the same speed. You think they're going to land in the same spot each time, rather than if they're changing speeds constantly. One's up here, one's down here because it's slower. We found by graphing here, the red line is the standard deviation in feet per second, so that's how much it changed. So if the barrel was less consistent, if it shot higher and lower on each shot, that's a higher value. And the standard deviation of the Y is the blue line. Standard deviation of the Y hardly fluctuates, it's flat. And I sorted by standard deviation of feet per second. So we go from the best, which is a standard deviation of 4, meaning that gun is going to be 95%, here again it's the doubling thing, so if you take 4 plus or minus 4, 68% of the shots. Plus or minus 8, you double it, about 95% of the shots. I would call that gun shooting plus or minus 8 over the chronograph, or somewhere right in there. It's something reasonably to assume that. So, plus or minus 8, the worst is up here by 9, which you double it, that's 18. Plus or minus 18. From 8 to 18, there was no real change in vertical impact point. So, I really think that what we need to do is we probably need to do an additional test, and we need to get some really crappy barrels. I don't know what you guys would consider really crappy barrels. Shooting in stock barrels is probably as close as we're going to get. Depending on the company, I just don't buy that they're really crappy necessarily. I'd love to put it to the test and find out. You know, I've shot WGP stock barrels, and they're too big for me in the bore size, but they shoot great in general. So I just wanted to talk about that scale and then do the circle thing. I think the circle's a little easier because that's the shape you see when things hit the wall. And I know there's other people doing some other cool math, so keep your eyes open for that. I may jump in and do a second part of this later on. I don't know, but anyway, I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents. And like I said, I'll throw an image up. I'll do a little quick drawing of this, what I'm talking about with the standard deviation, doubling to find the 95% confidence, and then I'm going to do a drawing of the X, Y, and the circle just so you can kind of understand what I'm saying. Hopefully this was helpful, and yeah, there's more number crunching to do. We'll talk more later on. I think there's probably more information in here than what I'm seeing right now. But, man, there just wasn't a whole lot of difference. Anyway, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later on.
Try to change to make a new life. Don't mean we gon' do right tonight. You can try to change to make a new life. Don't mean we gon' do right tonight. Hey mother, don't let them know you. They hunger to hold you down and control you. Hey lover, don't let them love you. They'll lay on top of you to stay above you. Try to change to make a new life. Don't mean we gon' do right tonight. You can try to change to make a new life. Don't mean we gon' do right tonight. You can try to change to make a new life. Don't mean we gon' do right tonight. You can try to change to make a new life. Don't mean we gon' do right tonight. We all need something we can stake the blame on. It can't be your dance.